Welcome to the first episode of Season 8 in this fourth year of On the Call. I'm Marcy Studer. I'm very grateful that you're spending this time with me. And as you know, this is my thank you tour where I give flowers to those who are impactful, deservingly. And on this episode, I'm shining light on my esteemed Consul General of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. J. Andre Laveau. Hello, Mr. Laveau.
Hello, Ozzy Stewart. Thank you for having me on your program.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go right into it. Because usually what I do is I do a rundown of who Mr. Laveau is. But I'm going to instead first ask, what does the J stand for?
That's my first name. That's Jerome.
Jerome.
And I don't use it.
I can see.
Yeah.
I can see.
I've always been called Andre by my parents.
Okay.
And it's the one that I'm...
That's stuck.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a question. You went from a history and law degree to international relationships and politics. Why? What was the draw?
I think actually it was during my degree, my undergraduate degree, that I did a course called International Law. And I think that's where my interest in international relations was birthed. There was so much intrigue to international law that there was really a deposit of interest in me in international affairs. And later on, I got an opportunity to do a postgraduate degree postgraduate diploma in international relations at St. Augustine.
Yes.
And yes, so my interest was piqued further. And I applied to the Foreign Service.
That's, yes. What drew you though to history and law as a youth? History and law. Because you went from there to, international, etc. What was that draw for you? Because you were living in Trinidad, no?
Yes,
right.
And my brother was already my big brother, he was already in Barbados studying economics and law. And it sounded like, he was strong in economics, I wasn't. But I was stronger in history. And I decided, maybe that would be a good combination for me. Because, I'm just strong in I don't know, I'm just really interested in how things begin, to understand journeys and where they end up. I'm always interested in how things begin.
Next, you became fluent because in French during your studies at the Universite Libre de Bruxelles in Brussels.
Yeah.
Je n'ai pas une personne avec qui pratiquer.
So
what drew you to study there?
Well, it was a degree tailor-made for diplomats because the classes were on Friday afternoons and on Saturday mornings. And I had been posted to Brussels since 1995. And I just sensed that it would be a long posting. So I decided this is an opportunity to become bilingual.
Yes.
So I put a lot of work into it, a lot of effort into it on a daily basis, not especially in the informal area.
Right.
Just listening to conversations, listening to a lot of radio and so on. And then I heard about this postgraduate, this master's at ULB, and decided I should give it a try because, and not just for the sake of studying, but for the sake of networking and meeting people. And it was really, it really fit my purposes.
Right. You're also good at networking and communications. As first secretary in T&T Embassy Brussels and mission to the European Union, deputy high commissioner and T&T high commissioner in Kampala, Uganda. Which country has captured your heart? We know Trinidad, outside of Trinidad.
Yeah, all three of my postings so far have captured my heart. I always it's not just the work, it's never just about the work for me, but it is actually relating to the people. In fact, we are charged with pursuing public diplomacy, not just for our own nationals in the country that we're posted to, but with the people of the country, of the receiving country. The growth of the European Union was seen as one of the major determinants of international affairs, basically, and multilateral diplomacy. I felt pleased to be there for my own development, but it was my posting to Uganda where I felt most privileged to be able to actually live in Africa with all of your family, all 5 of us. It was an incredible privilege.
How long were you there
I'll
for?
always be grateful for.
How long?
Just under 5 years.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
Ah.
It was a tremendous experience for me and for my kids as well. It helped them to understand what they have, but also how to be happy with little as well, and to know that to know even better that material is not what makes you. It's your values. It's how you value people. And,
How old were they at that point?
The eldest was only 9 when we got there. And the middle, that's a girl. She was 7. And then the baby was 4 thereabouts. Yeah. So it was an important part of their growth.
Would you care to go back?
I'd love to go back to Africa. I'd love to visit Uganda again, but since I'm getting older and running out of time, you tell yourself, I want to visit some other African countries.
Right. Now, you've worked in the ministries of Labour, Agriculture and Energy, and earlier in Sports and Youth Affairs, where you were instrumental in steering T&T participation in the FIFA World Cup tournament.
Yes.
And now it seems here as you're in this present position as Consul General, your communications and management skills are again bringing forces together on behalf of T&T. Thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, my part in our participation in the World Cup was purely in the area of communication. We had there were several ministries involved in, I believe it was called something like a fan center, and we had that mechanism set up in the cities where Trinidad and Tobago was playing, and so that was a joyous moment for us qualifying for the World Cup for the first time. But actually projecting, who we are as people into Germany, especially considering the way that small town, I forget what was the name of it, Sint something, excuse me, where our team was located. They were so warmly embraced by that little German town that Germany really they got, I think, a bigger spot in my heart after that. I never supported Germany in whether the Olympics or football before, but they gained some space in my heart for that. Now, so it's the lessons that I had there, especially in dealing with the Cricket World Cup as well. Using that big sporting extravaganza to highlight what's good about our country. Right. That was really enjoyable. So I brought that here. Brought that here to that experience here to New York because and I've had quite an opportunity to relate through public diplomacy to people and just highlight all that we love to boast about. I'm a good boaster about our country. I really do believe in us.
What are you most proud of in your career? and life?
I'm proud that I have worked selflessly. That's what I'm proud about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud that I've been a true servant.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you've been in the foreign ministry, foreign services now for like how many years?
30 and a half years.
That's a lot of service.
Yes. April 1993.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud, I think essentially that's what I'm proud about. Interestingly that you asked me. Yeah.
And what is the joy that you have of your job and career?
It is the opportunity to draw attention to our success despite the challenges that we have, in the face of challenges that we have, and even some weaknesses. We have been able to achieve so much as a country, so much that belies our size, belies our age as a country, belies our experience, belies so many other formidable challenges that we face. I've been able to draw attention to our progress in so many areas.
Who are your mentors or mentor?
Oh, I have to start with my favorite teacher, to tell you the honest truth.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get this the wrong way. I went to 4 secondary schools, just by circumstance. The last one was in Canada, so that's a lot of schools.
A lot.
And so to have one favorite teacher is, I think,
loudly.
But his name is Jerry Sagar, and he was, to this day he makes us call him Jerry. He's exactly 10 years older than me, and I met him when I was in Form 3. Form 3, yes. And he was just, he taught us to think critically and to question things. No one had ever taught us to think that critically before. And he was, I guess it was the time, this was 1977, 78, and he taught us he exposed us to some more or less socialist thinking, but it's not a bad word, and it wasn't even a bad word then, because Dr. Eric Williams was quite socialist in his thinking. So, and in fact, from my research, the World Bank was supportive of certain socialist policies among developing countries in the past.
It's amazing how, it's the early teachers or teachings that really propel us or stay with us.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I had a teacher called Mr. Daniels, and he was an after-school program because I couldn't get trigonometry in class.
Yes.
Just couldn't get it. And he found a way, he taught in such a way that made it so simple and so exciting and so, trigonometry, traits.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
At this point in your life, what more would you like to achieve?
Oh, I just had a rush of thoughts. To tell you the truth, the answer is almost right in front of me. To our right is a picture of 4 of our national heroes who what they did was recognized. There's 2 ways about it. They won a bronze medal, the first medal on the track for sovereign Trinidad and Tobago. Edwin Roberts, Ken Bernard, Edwin Skinner, and Wendell Motley. And these gentlemen inspired us to create a committee at the Consulate General to deal with recognition of heroes. We call that committee the 56ers because these gentlemen, this quartet, they were 4x400 meter relay team. This quartet, they won their bronze medal in 1964, and it was really a lot like a gold medal, I tell you. And in 2020, they were supposed to go back to the place where they won that gold medal 56 years later. And so it was 56 years later that the sheer weight of their achievement was truly revealed to us, you know. Not just the fact that they won this gold medal, but the fact that they had, all four of them had a successful walk in life in various fields, including athletics, business, and politics, leadership. And they had walked separately, but they had walked as friends. And they are still friends today.
That was going to be my next question. Did they stay in touch? Yeah.
Yes, they kept in touch. So if you ask me what I'd like to achieve, I would want to achieve better recognition for people who achieve for their country. They shouldn't just be celebrated. On a daily basis, they should feel recognized. And it should be reflexive among our people. If someone knows that a certain fast bowler or athlete is in town, he may not always be there. Hey, reach out to him and tell him, listen, dine here tonight. You know, free, it's on me. Bring 5 people. You know, he must feel important. He must feel. I know we have Caribbean neighbors who are great at this. Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, that's quite true.
Yes.
Quite true. So that you would say would be your personal advocacy.
Yes. And I think about ways to do it. I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. What concerns you about the world today? I know it's a broad question, but.
Well, I guess it's the lack of genuine care for humanity. That's what concerns me above all.
And what gives you hope?
My faith in God, that if you look to Him, He will never let you be ashamed. He will never let you down.
And He's forgiving.
And He is forgiving. Yeah. We need that on a daily basis, actually.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. How has COVID affected the embassy positively? The services positively. We always hear about the negatives, and there's a list, I'm sure. Positive.
I like that question. It's affected us positively. It definitely has. It has made us much more empathetic or empathic than we probably were before. It's something that we encourage all the time for our staff to treat guests and treat clients as if you're treating with your sister or your mother or something. But and they do well there. But the grave stories that you heard during COVID and the misery and hardship that people faced during that time has made us a lot more, I think, yes, empathic, but also more alert to the fact that we need to be slower to judge, more deliberate in assessing cases before us, and a little more patient.
Now you have some interests and hobbies. One is music. And what end of music? Is it playing? Is it singing?
I can sing a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I sing. Don't ask me. I can sing a bit, so my friends say. I'd like to explore it a little bit more because, as you know, I'm from an artistic family, and sometimes the talents they do skip a generation, but what doesn't skip a generation is the desire to say something. That's what artists want to do, really. My dad was always saying something.
Yes.
Or is always saying something.
Yes. Mr. Albert Laveau was in his
Yes.
Belfanto back in the day.
Yes.
He was here. Yes.
I remember. So yes, it's I have something to say. I've learned too much. I've been privileged to have lived in 3 continents. Plus the Caribbean. And that's a lot of exposure, a lot of important exposure.
Musically, has the music from these different continents and countries, have they influenced you? Is it in any way?
Yes, they have. I like what comes through Ugandan music. I've heard several songs about, and this has been borne out in my experience in my interactions with Ugandans. What comes through their music is the ability to overcome hardship. I think, and I think that trait in Ugandans actually attracted Sir Vivian Naipaul to research them for his book, I think it's Mask of Africa, okay, which I was happy to be able to help him move around to meet some people and ask them about how they handle hardship and adversity and so on. So Ugandan music is, I like it. It's a bit like soca. It's a bit Congolese. It has some interesting influences. I don't know all the origins.
You're also into, I need you to explain this, mental and attitudinal change in post-colonial society in pursuit of development.
Yes.
That's a long phrase.
It was believed that attitudinal change is like an X factor when it comes to development. And I don't think it gets enough attention. I mean, Lloyd Best was great at it, and so many writers, C.Y. Thomas, and so many others have, Beckford and so on, have looked at Caribbean attitudes and how they inhibit our progress. But writing about it is one thing, but how do you actually display it? Display the need for change. How do you demonstrate it? I believe that we have to have a better understanding of who leaders are. Okay? Leaders are those people who are doing wholesome things that are being followed. That's simple explanation.
Right.
And they are sportsmen. They are people in culture. Also, there's my teacher. There are teachers. There's so many people who have an opportunity to mentor just by relating, not in any structure, just by relating, just sharing your failures and your successes. And if that can be done with a nationwide consciousness of its importance, I think we can really change our country in a really, really positive way.
It's implementing it now. What do you think about that, the implementation?
Yeah, I think if we can get people to recognize that, to wake up in the morning and realize, wait a minute, I'm a leader. Somebody's depending on me to lead well, to be conscious and not unconscious in my living, to be alert, to be sensitive, to be just to be aware of my own journey and where I'm going. and why I do what I do, you know, that sort of consciousness. People depend on me for that. If we can get a whole lot of footballers, basketball players, athletes, coaches, dance teachers, and so on, parents, uncles, community leaders, church leaders, and so on, to be conscious of that. The first thing that will happen is their own sense of self will explode. And if that happens, leadership could be out of this world. Yeah.
Do you still cycle?
Yes, but this summer is just passing me by.
I know, me too.
Yeah, that's when you have independence and World Super Day and so on and so on. We just had to devote. I have not been on my bike for probably 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
You also train people in writing and communication. Where do you
No, that's an ambition of mine.
Got it.
Yeah, I haven't had opportunity to. But then again, I do, now that you say it. Because I'm a senior foreign service officer, well now retired, I'm a consul general.
Right.
Okay, and I do have opportunity. I do it every day actually. Train colleagues, staff.
Yes.
In writing and communication.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Because just listening to you, you have such a way with words and your construction of sentences is just really, really clear, really concise, really flavored with with the different adjectives and different words you use. Just listening to you speak is a wonderful thing.
That's nice.
Really wonderful thing. Yes.
My parents might be happy.
I think they would be now. For people to get in touch with the Consulate to find out more about you, where would you have them go?
Now, the best place to go is to our webpage,
Which is
foreign.gov.tt/CGNEWYORK. CGNEWYORK. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I just want to thank you for checking in on this first episode of Season 8. And I want to give my thanks to Mr. Laveau, our Consul General, for your consideration, your support, your time, and just your presence, and also just what you're working on with reference to the 56. Very important. The heroes, very, very important. And it blends so well with what we're doing, and I thank you for that. Thank you to JC and James and the OTC team. And please care to share. Remember, when you're on your beat, stay on the sunny, sunny side of the street. Safely, be health conscious, and kinder to one another. And don't forget to give thanks for the little and big gifts as we strive to live that beautiful life. Thank you, guys. Till the next. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Ozzy.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you. It's not often that somebody would say that after this interview I'd never be the same, but I think I'll say that because you pose questions that really have me self-searching, and so that's really important.